So Facebook, with Brother Big Chris. So earlier, I'm just going to start all over again. Those of you who saw my earlier broadcast, please be patient. I'm doing a whole new video now, same subject matter. But so, if you can't hear me too clearly, sorry. Get the fan blowing. It's because it's hot outside, and I'm trying to keep my phone cooled off also as well. So, name of this video, on the level of humanity. So basically right now, I dig, as most of y'all know, a lot of people are protesting Nike for naming Kaepernick, Man of the Year. And I understand why a lot of folks are upset. I understand whether it's right to be upset. I understand for people are upset is because they don't really, you're not done with the underlying issue as to why he was voted Man of the Year and why he is considered a hero to some of us. So, break this down, because my whole thing is this. I'm not trying to derail you from protesting. It's your American right to protest. Anything you don't like or against, protest it. Hey, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? That's your right as an American citizen. And nobody has the right to tell you that you're wrong for feeling how you feel. Whatever it is you're protesting. You know what I'm saying? We don't, as American citizens, we should not dictate to other people how to be patriotic and what it is for them to be patriotic. Everybody has their feelings about it, and as human beings, we need to respect each other's space. So, that being said, what I want to do, I want to bring understanding to people, because I believe that a lot of reason where the separation is at is because, and again, we don't have to agree. You know what I'm saying? As long as we disagree respectfully to each other. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want to attempt to explain though why Kaepernick is a hero to some of us. He spoke out against police brutality. He said something about an issue. He did something to help bring awareness to this issue, because this is an issue that we have as a community, as Afro-Americans, in urban neighborhoods. We have been pleading with our judicial system to fix this issue. We've been pleading with fellow Americans, hey, please, listen to what we're saying. This is happening in our neighborhoods. It's happening, and even it's been going on even in, you know what? I'm not going to just say urban black males. I'm going to say in the small towns of Mississippi, Georgia, any states below the Mason-Dixon line. This has been happening. It's been going on for centuries. It's been going on for years, and it's something that we have been pleading. My ancestors, those who came before me. People who, a lot of us Afro-Americans now who are from urban areas, we have roots of ancestors from the dirty South who came up in Jim Crow, and it was going on then, and that spirit has carried on in America, in other states, any state or city that has a history of ethnic divide. I don't say the word race, because I'm not in competition with nobody. I hate that word. I believe that, when we say certain words have power. And when we say certain words or try to label things a certain kind of way, without understanding the intrinsic meaning of what we're saying, that's what birthed bad shit for the most part. We have been pleading. And I said, me, Afro-American as a people, we have been pleading with our judicial system, please, do something about this issue. We don't want to be brutalized by law enforcement. We don't want to be you know, marginalized by our Department of Justice, and we don't want to be marginalized by the laws of our land. You know, we love America, but we also want to be treated rightly as Americans. You know, if we do a crime, charge us for our crime the right way. Give us the just punishment for that crime. You know what I'm saying? My ancestors never had ever been about wanting special rights because we Afro American or because we descend from slaves. That's never the case. We just say treat us as Americans. That's what we want. To be treated as Americans. That's the freedom that my ancestors who were slaves wanted. To be treated as Americans. You know, if I work a job, pay me the same wage that you pay, the Caucasian man. If I work a job, you know what I'm saying? If I commit a crime, okay, give me the same punishment as you would that Caucasian man. You know what I'm saying? We want freedom to be who we are. You know what I'm saying? Let me be free. Let me have the right. Let me choose my own destiny of how I want to live or how I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Without no obstacles be put in the way. You know, on purpose because of the color of my skin. That's what we want, and that's what we've wanted. That's what my people have longed for. You know, and yes, we have come a very long way. My people have come a very long way from how things were during slavery, how things were in Jim Crow. But there's still that, I'm going to say it this way, there's still that spirit of us being a despised people here in America. And I'm saying this is not as an excuse, I'm saying this as dealing with the underlying issue. You know, and this is part of me explaining why Kaepernick is a hero to some of us. Because, again, he spoke out on behalf of people who are not being listened to. He spoke out on behalf of us and loved ones of us who died at the hands of law enforcement. Now, please mind you, let me make this very clear. We love America. Most of us, we love America. We love our nation. We love the people of our nation. We don't hate law enforcement. A lot of us, however, are very distrustful of law enforcement because of how history has shown we have not been treated fairly. And again, we have been, a despised people. You know, when it comes to dealing with some people of law enforcement. Now, the job of law enforcement, as being a cop, is a very difficult job. I have friends who are cops, and they do a very good job, honorable job. And let me give a shout out to those cops who are doing their job every day, keeping our community safe, sacrificing themselves on the line for us. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? And I will say this too: I would take a knee for those cops who lost their lives on the job. You know, doing their job the right way. But now, with that being said, the job is difficult. You know, it's a job that most people cannot handle. It's a job that has even sent some dedicated good men and women to the psychiatric ward because of the shit they deal with every single day. They deal with some shit every day, and it cause wear and tear on a person's mental capacity. And I know this being a former case manager who dealt with severely mentally ill adults. Some folks just can't handle trauma, and there's a lot of trauma when you have the position of law enforcement. You know, it makes you aggressive. You know, you're dealing with people who want to be assholes every day, folks that want to kill you and all that. It can make you aggressive. That's a nature. You know what I'm saying? Nature of some of us as men sometimes, we get aggressive. You know, especially in situations that, where it calls for us to be aggressive. But I understand that there's times as cops, you got to bust some heads. When you're dealing with somebody who's not being compliant, who want to threaten you, I dig it. You know, I'm going to say that even as a citizen, if I'm with my family and I'm with my grandkids, my wife, my daughters, my son, I'm protective of all of them. I'm protective of even my brothers, you know what I'm saying? We out somewhere, somebody want to get along with one of us, well, of course I'm going to do my best to maintain and bring a resolution to conflict that is peaceful by all means. But there are situations, in this world that we live in, where some people just don't want to do that, and you have to do what you have to do to protect yours. Bottom line, you know what I'm saying? So I can understand, why, the job of being a police officer is a very difficult one. However, there's this issue of brutality. And brutality comes in is when someone who is wearing the badge, who's been given the authority to use force as necessary, they overdo it. They pervert it. Let's say what it is, they pervert it. They use their power and authority in a perverted manner to brutalize people, to bully for the most part. And that's wrong. It is wrong for you as a person, as an officer of the law, trusted with the safety, of the citizens in your precinct, in your quadrant, in your city that you're patrolling, and you're trusted to protect. So that means you protect those who are innocent. You protect those who can't protect themselves from people who tend to want to do harm to them. People who want to victimize people, innocent people. It's your job as a cop to protect them from that. But you have officers, you have people who pervert that authority. They dishonor the badge. The badge is set there it's a shield, and a shield protects you. That's why cops have to have a shield, because it's supposed to represent you being a protector. But you have people, human beings, who wear that shield, and they pervert the meaning of that shield when they use their authority to kill people, to victimize people. That's wrong. And I believe whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, conservative, or liberal, regardless of the hue of your skin color, regardless of your ethnicity, all of us can agree. Whether you believe in God or don't believe in God or don't believe in God, all of us can agree. It is wrong to bully. It is wrong to brutalize. It is wrong to use power, authority given to you the wrong way to victimize people. Tyranny is another word for it. That's wrong. Absolutely wrong. And I believe all of us can agree on that level. Kaepernick and his actions and what he's done and his intentions is to bring light to that issue. Yes, now, a lot of people in America couldn't see that message because you were so blinded by, the shirt of Malik al-Shabazz and Castro. You were so blinded by some other things he said about America. You were so blinded by other things he said that had you emotionally raveled, that you couldn't see the underlying issue of what he was doing and what he said. He was upset about him sitting during the national anthem. And I dig it, you know what I'm saying? Sitting can be disrespectful, but again, when it comes to rights are not based upon what's respectful and what's not. I do agree, sitting during the national anthem is disrespectful. Like I say that honestly because I've done it before. During my time when I was angry at America, But also during that time I realized too, now that I matured more, I wasn't angry so much at America, but I was angry at our government. I was angry at our system of how unbalanced it is and how unfair it could be. I was angry at our system as to how it was one-sided, and angry at how easy it is to manipulate the law, how easily our judicial system can be manipulated and used in such an evil manner. That's what I was angry about. I realized that. I love America. I love this country. I love the people in this country. I love the beauty of this country, the land that we live on. I love my hood, Eastside Saginaw. I love Michigan. I love everything about America. That's good and beautiful. However, there is an ugly side of America, and there's a bad to America. And I've learned in my lifetime, in my 42 years, how to appreciate the good of America, how to be grateful for the good of America, and also how to deal with the bad of America and how to help work to change the ugly of America. And that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to appreciate the good and work to change the ugly. You know, and be able to. And sometimes with the bad, you can't change the bad. You got to stand during the bad. It's like dealing with any other human being on earth. You know what I'm saying? We have good, ugly, and bad to us. You know, ain't nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, you know, you learn to deal with people with different attitudes and different people, personalities. You know, that's how it is in America. Kaepernick brought attention to the ugly. That's why to us he's a hero. However, this ugly of America has been mentioned, again, like I said before, we've pleaded. We've pleaded. Our people has pleaded for centuries. And other folks came into play. NWA came into play to bring it to their attention for the police. Ice-T brought to our attention with Cop Killer. Now, it's sad to say that an aggressive stand had to be taken to bring this issue to light to our society. And of course, it seems like whenever we plead or ask, you know, for our society to look upon of injustice, we get ignored. You know, so when these methods are brought about, you know, like the Panthers had to start arming themselves against policemen who are brutalizing the neighborhoods in Oakland. And it wasn't about going after cops and killing cops. It was about protection of innocent people, who the cops that were entrusted to protect were actually brutalizing. It was about making sure that they're doing their job the right way. It was about making sure that another poor person, not even African American, but anybody poor who's being bullied by a cop, by a crooked cop, making sure they're able to live another day and go home to their family. That's what they were doing. But again, as human beings, we always see the negative. We see on the outside, and we judge solely by what we see on the outside, or judge solely by what we think we understand it is. You know, people with the Panthers, all they saw was, you know, dark-skinned Negroes, angry Negroes with black hood with black jackets on and black berets and guns. That's all they saw. They didn't see people standing up as Americans, protecting their families, protecting their community. They didn't pay attention to the fact that they were feeding poor children every morning, regardless of their ethnicity. If you was from that neighborhood and you didn't have the money for a breakfast, your family was poor, you ate breakfast over there. Don't believe me? Research it. There are poor white kids in Oakland who can reflect on you and tell you, well, yeah, I was one of those kids who ate breakfast, you know, with the Panthers in the morning before I went to school. Because they were serving people. They were protecting people. You know, whenever somebody got put over by a cop, the Panthers didn't pull them with their guns and shoot nobody. They pulled them to make sure that cop was going to do their job. If you're going to arrest somebody, make sure you arrest them in the right way. You're going to get them a ticket, okay, give them a ticket. But do your job the right way. Ain't no need for you to want to try to be a tough guy and beat somebody up just because you feel you can. The Panthers were saying, no, we're not going to tolerate that no more. The Panthers were working also to get people from their community into the police force. Because the ideal is this: if you're from the neighborhood, you know the people. You know the people, there's no need for brutality. Because you know everybody here. You know how to deal with each person. You know what I'm saying? You know who's cool, you know who may be sort of a knucklehead or sort of a problem, but you know how to deal with it in a way where people are not dying unjustly. Not saying they may never have to kill somebody, but again, as an officer, again, that's the nature of the job. But at least for the most part, as an officer of the law, if you're from the neighborhood, you know how to handle people. That was the Panthers. That's what they was working for. So issues like, again, NWA for the police, Ice-T's Cop Killer was about brutalizing cops. wasn't about just explaining the cops' authority. It's about, again, pointing out those individuals wearing the badge who are abusing their authority. Again, the badge is made like a shield. The shield is meant to protect. They were addressing those officers, those human beings who were betraying the meaning of that badge. Those who were brutalizing people. And again, everybody that saw it fucked up. All they heard was they heard the disrespect, and all they saw was, oh, he's talking about killing cops. I see never talking about, you never say go out and just kill a random cop. He talking about when a cop is called a pig, he's talking about those cops who do not do their job with honor. Those are the pigs. The ones who do it for a paycheck, the ones who do it, for the wrong reason, the ones who do it, because they want to feel big and bad. That's not why a cop is about service. When you become a cop, you serve people, you protect people. Again, that's why it's a shield. A shield protects. So, understand. My grandson just pulled in. So, morning, buddy. So, understand. That's what the issues are being about police brutality. People not doing their job with honor, using their authority to hurt people instead of protect people. That's been the issue. So back to Kaepernick, the issue is that he brought it to attention of something that's been ignored for centuries. Now, the idea of the fact of taking a knee, again, protesting in a mature way. As American citizens, it's like this. As American citizens, we have a right to protest. But as human beings, we have a responsibility to protest in a manner that is not intrusive to other citizens' daily lives. Blocking traffic is bullshit. I'm going to say that right now. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. Don't say that word, by the way. Okay. My grandson is with me. That's BS to protest in that manner when you are interfering with people's daily lives. That's wrong. It's wrong to riot and tear up your own neighborhood because that's where you're from. That's irresponsible. I'm going to say it. A lot of folks may not like me saying that, but I am. Irresponsible to tear up your own neighborhood where you live at. Okay? That's, you're terrorizing your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes, sir. Okay, hold on, all right? So, taking a knee where you're protesting injustice in America, that's being responsible. When you're protesting an issue about things happening to people that should not be happening, taking a knee is being responsible, and you protesting. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it, and that's fine, because as an American citizen, that is your right. As long as you're not doing anything disrespectful towards them, like abusing people or trying to get back at somebody or try to use violence, fine. You know what I'm saying? You can say how it's be, that's all you want to. That is your right to say that. You know what I'm saying? But you can do so also without damaging people's character. That's being responsible as a human being. I'm not a fan of President Trump, but I'm not going to jump on that fuck Trump bandwagon. I'm not doing that, simply because, for me as a man, I have principles. I respect the office of the President of the United States, no matter who's in it. I don't have to agree with how they handle the office or how they operate in office. If I don't like something that they're doing in office, I can say I don't like it, and I can protest it. However, I'm never ever going to get to a point where I'm going to be like, well, F Trump. I'm not doing that. I mean, again, if you do so, that's your right to do so. For me, I'm not doing that because I wish to operate in a standard of excellence where I can deal with truth, deal with the ugly part of America, without being able to without attacking somebody's character, without attacking somebody, just because. If I say anything against Trump, it's because something he's doing wrong, and I'll say, yeah, I believe that's what he's doing is wrong, but I could do so without the f this and f without the disrespect. You know what I'm saying? I could disagree with him in a respectful manner, as I would expect somebody to disagree with me in a respectful manner. You give what you desire back. You know what I'm saying? And you get back what you put out there. So hold on, give me one moment. I got a grandchild here. I gotta put on Netflix for my grandson. What you want to see, buddy? Oscar? Or Battle Car? Battle Watch Cars? Okay. So yeah, that's why this man is a hero to us. That's why when he did, for us, he spoke out. Now I get some of the, like I said, the imagery that y'all seen, things he said, that got some folks pissed off. And because we get so caught up in the outer stuff, you know what I'm saying, the things that's more theatrical, we end up losing sight of the underlying issue. Why he said what he said and why he took the knee. So I just want us to understand each other, you know what I'm saying? Be willing to listen, be willing to really not get so moved by emotions, but dig deep. Look at the underlying issue of what's being said and why it's being done. This whole thing in America, we gotta deal with the ugly parts of America if we want things to get better. And like I said earlier in my earlier broadcast, as people, it's hard for us to look at ourselves. It's hard for us to, y'all can barely see, so I'm squinting hard and I'm trying to see TV. It's hard for us to look at ourselves and deal with the ugly parts, of who we are. As Americans, we don't always, we're proud of our country. We take pride in our country, we take pride in being Americans, but we don't always want to look at the whole truth of our country. We don't want to look at, the history, of how our country was founded. Yes, it was founded on godly principles, but it was also founded by people also who didn't want to share, English didn't want to share nothing with Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? They didn't want to share with our Irishmen came in here. They didn't want to share with them, Our Irishmen caught hell over here. Mexicans, when they first came here, they caught hell trying to come over here, you know what I'm saying? As Afro-American for the most part, you want to see Perrero? So Afro-American for the most part, my ancestors for the most part came, most of them came here, came here as property. And in some cases, they got treated better than most Irishmen and most other races because they were property, which is a truth that people don't want to acknowledge. And not saying that slavery is right; it was still dead wrong. Every slave wasn't necessarily abused; they was just held hostage for the most part, and not allowed to be free and not allowed to pursue their destiny. Some slave owners later on decided to give them that right to do so. But again, that's the history of our country. That's the history of what we're founded off of. We wonder why this whole racism is happening. It ain't happening by just happening. There's a seed planted there. And the only way, and if anybody knows anything about gardening, when you have weeds, you dig them up by the root. You got to get it from the root. You want to kill those weeds out of your garden, out of your flower garden, out of any garden you're trying to plant. You got to get down to the root of those weeds and kill it at the root. That's how this is going to work. That's how the separation between people and this is going to work. We're going to get down to the root, and that means reflecting on some past history. And when I say reflect, I'm not saying bringing up history to point out to people, well, you did this and you did that. No, I mean look at what happened. Look at what was said. Look at things that were done. Only way you're gonna find an antidote to this is to get to the root. When somebody is bitten by a snake or bitten by a scorpion, the antidote is made from that same poison. Same thing that poisoned us as a nation. We got to deal with it. We got to deal with it. It's not gonna go away. It's not gonna be swept under the rug. It's not gonna go away. Until we deal with that spirit, this is gonna keep on happening. As an Afro-American man, let me say this, as Christopher O'Neal Haynes, I first and foremost see myself as a man who loves God. My identity, how I identify me, is through the eyes of God's kingdom. Okay? However, I acknowledge the fact that I am Afro-American. I don't know my tribe, but I acknowledge the fact proudly. Let me say this proudly, first of all. I acknowledge I am a God's kingdom, and I'm proudly also of Afrocentric ethnicity. Proudly. I acknowledge the fact that I'm an American. Proudly acknowledge those things about me. However, in society, and the reality is that when people identify me, when society identifies me, they don't necessarily always wait to find out for me to express who I am as a person of God's kingdom. I am automatically identified by what you see on the outside. And however they view that, however they mentally defined and hard to find what this is, my means, is how they identify me. The fact that I come from East Side Saginaw, the fact that I come from the hood, the fact that I am Afro-American, that's how they instantly identify me. Society will, and let me say this. This is one of the things about producer brutality that I'm going to bring up also. I'm seen as an enemy. I have rights in America. I have freedoms in America that I thank God for. But because of the mentality of society, I'm seen as an outlaw. Put it like that. Because I don't fit the mold of what some people would define as America. I don't fit that mold, according to them, by the way. According to our judicial system, according to our government. And when I say government, I mean some people, there's different facets of government. And there are different people who work in our government who will actually work to keep at certain people ethnicities. They seek to try to put obstacles before them to keep them from being successful in life. Now, knowing that doesn't necessarily mean that I cannot be a success in life. Because whether it's employment, financial, whatever the case may be, because people on Black Wall Street a long time ago proven that. Just because something is placed in front of you does not mean you can overcome it. And that's the pain of dealing as Afro-American that we dealt with is dealing with hurdles all the time to get someplace. Back in the 60s, when Afro-Americans went on a home, they were discriminated against them. And there really wasn't nothing they could do about it. When they want to get a good paying job, discrimination. There's nothing really you could do about it. Now, is it happening today? Yes, it is. It's done more in an underhand way. It's done more slicker than a slick way. Because here the thing is this. Somebody in HR work in an apartment and they don't like certain ethnicities. Somebody don't like somebody who's Latino or don't like somebody who's Afro-American. They can, based on their own thought process and knowing they have the power to control somebody's job situation, yeah, there are things that they can do to keep you from progressing on the job or even keep you from getting the job in the first place. And nothing you really can do about it because you really can't prove what's in somebody's heart. If that makes sense, y'all, what I'm saying like that. You can't do nothing about it. Now, some of us, we know that may be the case in, in some cases. We know that's possible. And we know some of us who apply for jobs or whatnot, you know, you can feel somebody's spirit a lot of times, how they feel towards you. Especially somebody who you never met before, you don't know them, but they look at you a certain kind of way because how you look or whatever the case may be. I mean, you're not an idiot. You can feel it on them. You know what I'm saying? But you can't prove it. Because again, you can't really prove what somebody is heart. Things, only thing you can prove is things of what they say. You know what I'm saying? And some people have learned to be real careful of what they say. They may not like you, and they may discriminate against you, but they're careful of what they say. Because according to what the law is. And the issue is our laws are not built to support people who can't afford to be lawyers, put it like that. So, again, as Afro-Americans, I understand the fact that we are despised people. Now, why we are, that's a whole nother story. I mean, it's like a spiritual thing, but that's like a whole nother video. So I don't want to get into that. I'm going to say it's in the Bible. It started with Noah and his sons. Okay, I'll bring it out a little bit, just for a little bit. You understand why I say that? Noah has 3 sons during the flood when God wiped folks off the face of the earth. Noah's sons were saved and his families were saved, right? I did a study from a doctor. The book I read called People of Color in the Bible. And basically broke down how the 3 sons of Noah they reduced to certain ethnicities here that you have in the earth now. Shem. Excuse me, sir, I'm trying to what? Turn it down. Turn it down some more. Yeah, thank you. So, Noah's sons, they're like producers of ethnicities that we have here in our world now. Shem produced like the Arabic nations. Japheth produced the Gentile nations, where like Caucasians, Greece, Italians, Latin Americans for the most part. Ham produced the African nation of Canaan. So from Ham came from, Afro-Americans, Africa, Egypt, anybody related that fall in that category, right? Afro-Americans, most of us, we're descendants of Ham. So you read the Bible, Noah cursed Ham because Ham made fun of him while he was naked and drunk. So as people, you might have heard before about Afro-Americans being cursed. And a lot of times people say that they refer to our features, like our nose and our lips and all that, which is not the case. That's not a curse. I will say that curse is a spiritual root to why slavery had happened. And also the root to how we identify ourselves. The fact that we don't have no connection most of us don't have connection to our ancestry. And therefore that produces a lack in identifying yourself. Now, so you may think that's crazy. I understand it. But when you read the story of Noah and you read the curse of Noah upon Ham, you'll understand why I say that. I don't know the scripture exactly where it's at, but read that scripture. And read the part where Noah cursed Ham. You understand why I say this is what led to us being a despised people. Now, however, is this. That curse itself is broken through a Christ deal on the cross. And this is where as Afro-Americans, we gotta identify ourselves, not on how society views us, but identify ourselves according to the Word of God. Identify ourselves according to God's kingdom. That's where we regain. That's where we will regain our sense of identity from. So, with that being said, I want to say thank y'all for listening. Brother Ben Cruz, thank you, brother, for tuning in. Ross, nice seeing you, man. Take care, homeboy. Give y'all each a wave. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hello, my boost. Hey, support soldiers, brother. One love. I wanted to say, God bless all of y'all, those of y'all men and women who watching this, who served. Highly do appreciate you and your service. Thank you. The policemen out there who are doing their job, protecting our communities, thank you very much. Do appreciate you, highly do appreciate you very much. And also, I also want to give a shout out to all of, to America, to America, period. We got to work together, man. We got to deal with the truth, make this, to change things for the better. We got to deal with the ugly in order to make things more excellent. Love all of y'all. Be cool. One love.